All right, now that we have our basic cover design done, we need to start bringing in the other text. We can go to the article and copy and paste the text out of the article if you want. You want to start at the second paragraph, and you can copy and paste it out of there, going all the way down to right before it says her small name as a little thing, because this is the information about her, which is a like author info afterwards, after the article is finished. So I might go up to the top, and I could copy and paste it from there and go right into my document and paste, Control V, and that will give me a text frame. Now inside this text frame is all the text of our article. We can click and drag that out across our entire page, and then it's very easy for us to add columns to that text just very simply. Now once we've got that in there. Now I want you to notice that I can see my paragraph returns. You want to go to the type menu, go to show hidden characters at the bottom, so you can see those. And the reason why is because I want to get rid of the extra paragraphs that are there. Definitely do not want those. We want to not have those at all. Now you can go across the document like this, or you can go to the file editor, a story editor, under edit and story editor, and this way you can a little bit more easily see those. Anytime you have a paragraph returned by itself, we want to get rid of that. Now you can also see here it indicates that we have overset text at this point. It shows me the red line that says, hey, we're not seeing that text anymore. And so this even enables you to go past that and get rid of the text. Make sure that I have that spelled right. There we go. And we get rid of all the other spaces that are in there. Once you're done, you can just go ahead and close that, and it will load all that text back into this page. So there we go. We have all the extra returns taken out, and we want to start creating some basic styles for our page. So let's select the text here at the top, and I'm going to make some changes to it. So if I go to my character settings right now, I think I'm going to take it to just 11 points, make it a little bit smaller, and I'm going to change my leading to be a little bit higher. Now by doing that, what I want to do is I want to apply that to all of the rest of the text across my document. So I need to find what's called the paragraph styles over on the right hand side. And what we do is we create a paragraph style for this. Then you double click on it, change that to body text, and click OK. Now select all the rest of your text with Control A and click on body text. Now you'll see all of the rest of the text is applied. Now it doesn't look that good yet, but that's what we're going to get to next. Now, if I wanted to make some space between my paragraphs or something that looks different between the paragraphs, I've got a couple different settings that I can play with. Number one, if I just select across a range of paragraphs, doesn't really even matter. I can go up to my body styles or my paragraph styles, and one of the things I could do is first line indent, and you can see how that's showing. But the problem with that, and you can notice, even if I don't have the entire paragraph setting, it does change. This is a little bit old school way to do space in between paragraphs by doing indenting like this. Another option, let's not go too far. Another option is to do space before or after. I typically like to use space after the paragraph. And now you can see with a couple clicks, maybe even a few clicks, we can add some space between our paragraphs here. Now, if you look over on the right-hand side, you'll see that that paragraph style has been changed, and that's what's indicated by that plus. It even shows me what's changed in the little pop-up. Right-click and choose Redefine Style, and now you'll see that same exact setting changes to all of the different paragraphs that you have. Now, we could also, if I'm unselected from the text, you could double-click on that body style, make sure the preview button is selected, and we could go in and make other changes here if we wanted to. If I change the font back to 12, you'll notice that everything changes in the entire document. And I could add some space there So we've got a lot of options that we can do with the text. Now you have to be aware, though, that this is going to go through the entire document and anywhere you have that type style. And that can be really confusing because it can really change your design. I'm going to take it back to 11-point type and 15-point leading, and I'll click OK, and that's making that style happen everywhere else. Now the next thing I want to find is the style I want to find the direct line to success, and I'm going to make this a subheading style. So I'm going to create a new style here, double click on it, and I'm going to call it subhead. And I want you to notice that it says right now it's based on body text, and that's because we had body text already selected. Now I'm just going to go change what I want, which is the basic character format. I'm going to change to a bold version of that font. And my tracking, I want to take in about -25. I'm also going to make it a bigger point size, so maybe 13 points. Now, another thing I want to do is move it closer to the paragraph that's below it, further away from the paragraph above it. So I'm going to go to indents and spacing. I'm going to add 2 clicks before, and I'm going to remove 2 clicks from after. And that way it's got more space before and a little bit of space after. Exactly how that is done for you, you can make it look a little bit different if you want. It's not a big deal. So anyway, I now have a new subheading style and I have a body text style. Now we need to put these styles into a folder. So I'm going to call this folder my body styles. Click OK and drag those 2 styles inside of there. Now, another thing that makes these styles so cool is this. If you noticed, I've clicked off of my text now. I'm not on my text at all. And I'm going to double click on subhead again just to see that it's based upon the body text. What this means is that it uses the body text as its default style, and then it adds any changes that we've made manually to that style. So what's cool about this is I've decided that I don't like this particular font. I want to use a sans serif font instead of a serif font. So I'm going to double click on the body text, go back to my basic character formats, and I'm going to change this to a different font. And the one I want is Myriad Pro. And if you click, let's make sure that's being applied. Yeah, you have to kind of click on something else. You'll see now that has changed across the entire document. I have everywhere that body text was used, it was changed, including the subheading, which is really awesome. And now, of course, we could change any leading that we wanted. If we wanted more or less, we could do that. I'm going to leave it as it is at 11 points and 15-point type leading. Beautiful. Now, we want to extend the same text into the next page. So I'm going to go down to the bottom, click on the plus that's here, and then go down and see if I have any more pages. And I don't. I forgot to make my pages. So let's go to pages, add 2 new pages, make sure that those are reflowing the way that we want, and you'll see that we still have the ability to load that text in, which is really, really cool. Now I'll just click and drag a rectangle that goes across the whole page. And then I want to add my 3 columns, just like before. And you'll notice that I'm still missing just a little bit of text. We do need to go ahead and make the apple of our eyes. That's going to be a subheading. And then this one is going to be a subheading. And we have one little bit more text to bring in, and that's this little information at the very end where it says specializing in symbol or logo design. I'm going to grab that, and actually the Maggie McNabb copyright is going to go with that as well. So I'm going to copy all that text, come back to my InDesign layout, and paste this in a new frame. And I'm going to take that copyright and put it underneath this other text. Now, the reason that I wanted to have this is so that this one will look different than that other paragraph. And I might stretch it across too and and maybe put it down here at the bottom, because I know it's going to kind of be at the bottom of this page. And this text, once we start adding graphics in, it's going to start reflowing across the entire document. We don't have any graphics in here yet, so we've got still a lot of space that's going to be used up by those, and this text will definitely flow to the other pages. Okay, so when it comes to the styles, though, for this one, we want to create new styles for our author information by creating a new style group. And let's make sure that we put that style group at the main level. And we'll call that the author info. And any style that you change here, let's say that I'm going to make her a little bit bigger. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger for that. Little bit larger, just because I think that she's got some special information. And I'm going to actually take her back to the Myriad, which are the Minion, which is my serif font. And I'm going to go back to the author info folder, create a new style for that, and double click on it. And this time I do want to make sure that it is not based upon the paragraph style. So sometimes you do want to do that so that it doesn't interfere with other styles that you've already done. But this is going to be the author bio. Okay. And now I'm going to apply the author bio style to the bottom one, and then create a new style. Oops, let's select that style. Make it smaller text, like 9 point. And then this is going to be the author, double click on that new style, author copyright. Now you'll see that we have the ability to do a little bit more with that, because now we have styles just for those. Now the next style that we need to create is actually on our home page, because we also need the byline and deck styles. So I'm going to create a new folder yet again. This is going to be the cover styles. Let's select the deck, create a style for that, call it the deck. It should not have any paragraph style that it's applied to. Now we need to do one for the byline. Byline. Okay, and then let's put these into the right folder, which is the cover styles. Now you can see we've created some basic paragraph styles that we'll be using in our document. And of course, we're going to add even more styles than that, because we've got a couple more things that I want to do with just basic text styles before I move on to the next document. So one thing that I really like is this first paragraph. And this first paragraph, I think, needs to have something special. And so I've decided I want to put a drop cap in that paragraph. If you double click inside the paragraph, so you're inside it somewhere, you can go up to your paragraph settings up here, or you can find your paragraph settings over on the right hand side. And what you're looking for is this icon, which is your drop cap. I'm going to add a drop cap that goes down 3 lines. And you can see it shows up here at the top of my document. You can see it right up there. And that's going to be used in a really fun way in just a moment. So now that I have that paragraph style, you'll see I'm inside my body styles. I've got body text selected now, but I'm going to create a new one, which is called body text body text plus drop cap. And it could be with drop cap. I often do just that. Okay, and now anytime I want to use a drop cap again, I can just click on that paragraph, click on it, and you'll see I have one. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be putting those anywhere except for anywhere I want them to be something special. Typically, I put one only at the beginning of the article, but yeah, we'll see what happens there. All right, now we've got a couple more styles that we're going to use. You'll notice that almost every style we've used at this point has been a paragraph style. And the reason why is because the default that you always want to go to is always using paragraph styles. And only when you can't use a paragraph style to do what you want, do you want to consider to make a character style. Because a character style is an inline style, and that means that we want to select just individual words or letters that we want to apply that style to. So I'm looking for this right up here. I've got, let me make sure I'm inside my text where I want to be. I'm looking for IBM and Apple. So these two, when I have those names, I want to make them bold. So I'm going to select that text, go to the character settings, change it to a bold text, and then go back to character styles and create a new style. Now, what you name this style is kind of up to you. I'm just going to call it body text bold because that's basically what I'm doing with it. And then I'm going to select Apple, make that body text bold. And then anywhere else that I want to do that, I can always use that exact same thing. Now, I have other places that I might want to have something different. For example, the beat generation is really the name of something. So is city. Those might be more important for us to use as italic instead. So I'm going to create a new style this time. Double click on that character style. Oops, I'll change it here. Body text italic. Double click on it. There you go. And I could do the same thing here. I don't have to go into all the character settings. I can actually do it in the character style options. I can go to the basic character formats, and then I could say, hey, I want to make this thing an italic font. And since that's the only change that I've made, you'll see it says I'm not changing anything. I'm only adding italic to whatever that was. So that's really nice because you can go ahead and make that on different things. The beat generation, they made the love generation there. I've got that. Anywhere else that I might want to make something bold, like Paul Rand, I can make that a bold. Maybe I don't want this one to be bold in that case because I've already made it bold somewhere else. And so, of course, you can use bold to highlight any other things. There's another one up here called Fibonacci, which I think is really important. So I'm going to make that bold. Now, could you do bold and italic? Unfortunately, you can't do both at the same time. You would have to make a new style to do both styles, meaning because you can only have one style applied at the same time. But I'm going to do a really, really cool style here. And that is for this drop cap, because I've really decided that the drop cap needs something different than I got here. And so I'm going to use something what's called a nested style. And this is a really advanced thing in InDesign, which is incredibly powerful, but we're just going to use it in the simplest form here. Now, with this particular character, I'm going to come up and make it a different font because I want to go and make it the Trajan Pro that I used before. I'm also going to change the color of it so it's something special. And I've got some colors that are already here, but I don't have a lot of great colors, and we're going to deal with our colors later. So we might screw up this color for our drop cap. But at least you can see I've given it a special font, and I'm even going to make it bold, by the way. I've given it a special font, and I've made it a different color. Well, what we want to do is select that once again, make sure that's selected, create a new style here, and I'm going to call that character style the drop cap style. Click OK. And now I want to not apply that style. I don't want to apply it here. The reason why is because I'm going to go back to my paragraph styles and double click on your body text with drop cap, and under the drop caps and nested styles, what I want to do is assign that character style to the drop cap. What this does is anytime I use that paragraph style anymore, it will not only apply all the paragraph settings, but it will also apply that character style to the first drop cap that's there. And that is a nested style, and those go really, really deep. You can do amazing things. Now that we have a little bit more text, of course, you can go through and find other things that you might want to, whoops, accidentally got out of there. You can go and find other text that you might want to format in any way that you want. You can see there is a little mistake here with the Apple logo right there. But anything else that you want to format, you certainly can do. And of course, I encourage you to play around with your different styles, see what changes if you change your body type or body text to a different style or different font, and see what you can do. And let's go on and we'll start placing some graphics.